In 1805, the United States Marine Corps embarked on a mission that would cement its place in military history. The First Barbary War. That was between 1801 and 1805. It arose from relentless attacks by Barbary pirates along the North African coast. These pirates, sanctioned by the Ottoman-aligned states of Tripoli, Tunis, Algiers, and Morocco, demanded hefty tributes from nations sailing through the Mediterranean, including the United States. When President Thomas Jefferson refused to pay these tributes, the U.S. military was deployed to confront the threat, marking one of America's earliest overseas conflicts. The battle that followed was a defining moment. It was full of hardship and heroism. Led by Lieutenant Presley O'Bannon, a small yet determined force of U.S. Marines, European mercenaries, and local allies set out on a grueling 600-mile or 965-kilometer march across the North African desert to assault the fortified city of Derna. It is what is now today Libya. William Eaton, the American consul and mastermind behind the mission, had assembled this diverse coalition, facing significant language and cultural barriers, not to mention the searing desert heat and treacherous terrain. The ability to maintain discipline and unity among this disparate force was a feat among itself. The Marines and their allies used psychological tactics to their advantage, strategically leveraging the legitimacy of Hamid Karamanli, the rightful heir to Tripoli's throne, to undermine enemy morale. As they approached Derna, their small force prepared for battle, despite being vastly outnumbered. On April 27, 1805, O'Bannon and his men launched a daring assault. The Marines, known for their resilience and courage, pressed through the enemy defenses and stormed the city. Amid the chaos, O'Bannon raised the U.S. flag on foreign soil for the first time, a moment immortalized in the Marine Corps hymn's line, "To the shores of Tripoli." The victory at Derna carried a deep symbolic and strategic importance. It demonstrated America's ability to project power abroad and cripple the Barbary pirates' influence, paving the way for peace negotiations. The battle also marked a significant shift in U.S. naval policy. The experience underscored the necessity of a strong, permanent naval presence, laying the foundation for the establishment of a professional U.S. Navy and shaping American foreign policy for decades to come. The Mameluke sword, presented to Lieutenant O'Bannon by Hamid Karamanli, became a lasting symbol of this triumph. This curved blade, inspired by the ornate weapons of the Ottoman and North African soldiers, has since become a ceremonial piece carried by Marine Corps officers. The design reflects a legacy of cultural respect and global readiness, reminding every Marine of their storied past and commitment to overcoming adversity. The Battle of Derna also brought forth stories of personal sacrifice and endurance. The expedition was not without cost. Many men suffered from the harsh desert conditions and brutal combat. Eaton, who had poured his own resources into the mission, felt deeply disillusioned when the U.S. government minimized his contributions during the eventual peace settlement. Yet despite this, the battle left a lasting impression and secured the Marine Corps' reputation for daring and tenacity. Internationally, the United States' success did not go unnoticed. European nations began to challenge Barbary piracy much more aggressively, marking a decline in the power of these Ottoman-backed privateers. The Barbary states' influence waned, and their centuries-old grip on the Mediterranean trade then weakened. America's victory set a precedent for future overseas military engagements, foreshadowing the global reach of the U.S. forces in the centuries to come. By solidifying their place in history, the Marines had shown that they were prepared to fight in the most tough conditions. They emerged not only as skilled warriors, but also as symbols of American resolve and ingenuity. The battle's legacy lives on, enshrined in the traditions and ceremonial dress of today's Marine Corps, with the story of Derna serving as a reminder of the Corps' enduring ethos of honor, courage, and commitment. These are Interesting Things with JC.